Hello humans, this is Random Guy and welcome to the Random Channel. Today we're going to continue playing Wizard's Choice Chapter 2, Part 4, I think. Yep. And today I usually sleep for like 5 or 6 hours, right? Maybe 7. And today I kinda overshot and slept for like straight 10 hours. So now it's like around the time I usually stop recording. So I won't be recording for too long. Hopefully the chapter ends before I stop recording, but we'll see. I still have like an hour or so, so hopefully I can real quick finish this. I will try not talk about random stuff too much. So let's begin. Last time we were at where the guard comes in and pulls out his dagger. That's where we are at, and we are in the jail cell lying on straw. Rather than slitting your throat, he cuts the ropes that binds your wrist and legs. Needles stab you as the circulation need returns to your extremities. Nevertheless, you stand up unsteadily. Your possessions, he say, as he drops a sack at your feet. And this, it will unlock any portal between you and the outside. He hands you a key. Uh, you blink in disbelief. I am free then? Found innocent? He shakes his head mechanically. You are free until caught again, and I do not expect you will receive such kind treatment the next second time around. He left bound and gagged without food or water was kind treatment? You think to yourself, well, at least you were not outright hung. Go now, he waves to you and steps aside. What do? On the one hand, you are being offered freedom and another chance at life. On the other hand, you will only be hunted again. And Narissa seemed sympathetic to you. She will not likely help you if you run again. I'm gonna stay back. Last time I ran, so it was bad. Let's stay put. It occurs to you that this guard might be baiting you to escape, giving him or another guard an excuse to kill you without a trial, such as trials go in the city. You shake your head and sit down. The guard seems to agitate. This seems to agitate the guard, who begins pacing back and forth, muttering, "You should go. You really should go." The torch in the hall suddenly dim, and you feel something cold nearby. "Run or die, mortal fool," says a chilling whisper near your ear. Wait, why is the demon helping me all of a sudden? Says a chilling whisper near your ear. The guard stops pacing and looks around himself as though bewildered. He then sits his eyes on you. "Witchcraft," he shouts, as he unsheathes his sword and stabs you. The guard seems disoriented. The thrust was clumsy, nevertheless it cuts deep into your flank. You run out of the cell with an arcane word and a flick of your wrist. The door of the cell slams shut and blocks. "No," he yells as he bangs his gauntleted fist against the bars. The torches further down the dungeon hall dim, and you see an inky vapor rising up in the stairway. You pursue it up the stairs through the guard room through another hall. The shadow melts into the front door of the barracks, and by the time you unbar the door, step out into the night, it is nowhere to be seen. Where are you, devil? You're not sure what you will do when you find it. Nevertheless, this thing surely killed Reginald, so you run after it. The door out the dungeon is locked. Frantically, you pull the key the guard gave you out of your pocket. As soon as the key gets near the keyhole, it begins to vibrate slightly, and the key blade length and shape morphs. Limundo's master key, you realize with an excited shock. Such a magical key will fit any non-magical lock. The story goes that long ago, Lumendo, the great wizard, created such key for his friends and family who were instructed to swallow their key if they were ever captured. Of course, over the centuries, the key began falling into unintended hands. The stairs to the dungeon led up into the guard room. Two guards are splayed out, face up on the floor, the entrails spilling out in pool of blood. There are symbols scrawled all over the walls, reminiscent of the symbols you saw near slain Regnald. Though basically, when I run away from here, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh man, he killed all those guards. Look at him," and he then harvested their powers. Naval's cat. You whisper in a mixture of surprise and fear. The inky blackness is up ahead, down a hallway. You continue your pursuit until you're outside on the city street. All is quiet. It must be late or everyone is dead, you think. You spot the shadowy thing traveling down one of the roads, hovering over near the ground. It would probably be invisible from this distance if not for the fact that the street lantern dim as the thing passes by them. Down the street you run, stopping now and again to watch for inky shadow until at the same time trying to keep a healthy distance. Not sure what kind of senses the thing has. Perhaps outside of a human body it is nearly blind. Possibly, although you think you see two eyes at one point, two faintly glowing holes in an otherwise inky blackness. Go ahead. Up ahead, there is a man lying on the side of the street, presumably passed out drunk. The man seeps into him. The thing seeps into him. Um, the man suddenly picks himself up and begins a desperate limping run. How long can the thing exist outside a body, you wonder? In any case, you are thankful to now have someone solid to keep track of, and you follow as stealthily as you can. It is not long before you see a pair of guards up ahead. The guards run. The guards turn at the sound of the man staggering up behind them. As they do this, the man collapses faceward into the street. The guards laugh, then resume walking. Inky blackness drifts after the guards, stalking them like a nightmare predator. You consider shouting a warning, but it's too late. The thing hovers over one of the guards and collects around him in a phantom embrace and vanishes into his back. The guard jerks for a moment and his companion looks over at him curiously. You continue to follow at a distance, unsure of whether you should warn the other guard or not. What is the use, you decide finally. He would only think me a fool and far worse recognize me. The possessed guard points down an alley and urging his companion to lead the way. This cannot be good, you think to yourself. Soon there is a cry from the alley that is cut short. You hurry to the entrance and look in. The alley is unlit, but the lantern of one of the guards on the ground broken. Its burning oil spreading. Using a knife, the possessed guard is cutting away on the other one with a practiced motion, much like a butcher slaughtering an animal. His back is to you. What do you do? I'm not going to attack the guard. That's problematic. I can't find help. I'm just gonna stay hidden and watch. See, I can go and look for help because they will recognize me. And the two of the options are attacking options, and that will just end up in the guard dying and the possessed spirit just leaving his body and entering another one. So the best course of action would be just stay hidden and watch. You crouch down into the shadows, only the top of your head visible around the corner, and watch. The guard mutters in feral. You understand enough to realize that he is offering the soul to Nerul, the god of undead. It is said that Nerul had been a very ancient vampire before becoming a god, and now holds dominion over all evil souls that cling to this world after death. The guard feverishly finger paints the now familiar infernal symbols on the wall and street around the disemboweled guard, after which he raises his hand to the sky. The shadow emerges from him and like smoke and floats away down the alley as the guard collapses. You follow the shadow, trying your best not to be noticed. Along the way, it possesses various people, leaping from one to another as though using them as its relay horses for a speedy journey. Jalap, why are you running to? Where are you running to? One woman shouts as her presumed husband sprints away down the street. Despite those being possessed looking like everyone else, you track it more easily, simply following anyone who suddenly starts acting strange. Finally, a possessed young boy chased by his scolding mother stops short of the Temple of Eternal Love. Faintly, you can see the shimmering shadow leave the child, dissolve into the large double door of the temple. Is this it at last? The fiend's lair? Having grown up in Ring City, you are familiar with all the great landmarks. Oh my god, if it went into the fucking temple, then there's a high possibility that the priestesses were actually responsible for creating it. And they're like, not actually priestesses, they are just like servants of Nerul, acting like priestesses. That could be a thing. Despite its size and grandeur, little is known about this temple or what goes on inside. In the rare event that members are seen, they seem to materialize out of nowhere. Traveling in groups of 4 or more, wearing long yellow robes and small purple masks. What? In the rare event that members are seen, they seem to materialize out of nowhere. Traveling in groups of 4 or more, wearing long yellow robes and smooth purple masks. As far as you know, no one has spotted anyone leaving the place, which was led to the child's story that there's a monster inside that eats all that enter. Given the name of the temple, the closely guarded privacy of its members, most adults believe the temple is merely a cult promiscuity and spurred on by this speculation, when you were teenagers, you and Reginald had wanted to learn more about the temple. So you had once knocked on the front door. Nothing happened, but you remember an overwhelming feeling of dread. No one, not even city guard, no go near it. Now what? I'd be mad to try to go in there after that thing. You wonder if it'd be a good time to get help. If this is the Shadow's lair, and if the temple members are mixed up with evil events of the late, there's bound to be all sort of wickedness inside for the city authorities to uncover. Should you go see the captain of the guard, Lord Renly? He will take you into custody, but you will know him a little, and maybe you could at least convince him to investigate the temple. Or what about Narissa, the cleric? She seems like a devout soldier for good. On the other hand, you know the clerics hesitate to meddle with the followers of other gods. Such behavior, if unjustified, would likely displease their own goddess. Aletheia, what do you go? Go it alone, actually. I can trust no one. Yeah. I don't think there's anyone is a good idea. I can trust no one. You think as you approach the temple. The footstep from behind, and you spun around. It's Narisa, the cleric of the Aletheia. You see her large blue eyes widen with amazement when she sees your face. You raise your hand to begin casting a spell when she closes the distance between you like lightning and smashes her mace into your shoulder. You stumble. You stumble and fall. You point someone. Okay. You point. She points a mace down at you. Narisa, you sputter. What? Why are you here? Following the smell of evil, by way of divine sense lent me by the goddess. Why are you? However, much better question is, why are you the dark vapor I hunt? By the gods, I swear I'm not. The shadow resides in the temple yonder. Come, let us not speak of such thing out here. Narissa allows you to stand up, although she keeps her mace at the ready. The two of you retreat to the shadows just off the road. What brings you here, you ask? Asking Alethia's guidance, searching out the evil that has taken root in the city, says Narissa. She pauses and gives you a peculiar look. Again, I ask why you're not in the dungeon. You tell her briefly what had happened since you last spoke. It is as I feared, a soul crusher capable of possessing the living, most likely the dead as well, Narissa says. What of me? Will you hand me back to the guard? Common sense advises I should. However, I listen to the promptings of a greater wisdom, she says. You manage a weak smile. The fiend takes refuge in the temple yonder. I too felt the evil pass by and sink into that domicile. The temple of eternal love has been shrouded from our view since the day it was built 2 centuries ago. It is a good place for a spirit to hide. I say you. I shall visit the temple and find out what business the shadow has here. Just the two of us, why not send in your warriors of Aletheia or notify the guards? Servants of Aletheia cannot simply march into another temple without very good cause. We do not yet understand the enemy we face, and the temple members may have nothing to do with it, at least not knowingly. Some scouting is necessary. I want to bring you because from your account, this spirit does not wish to harm you. This could be our advantage. You nod. Regnald's spirit will be avenged. Okay. Hopefully this is going to end soon enough. Man, I need to boost my stats. Unfortunate, but I will have to. I'm gonna have to get some life. All is quiet near the temple of eternal love. Dawn has still not broken, and there is a faint light coming from one of the higher temples. See, this is one of the bullshit in this storyline, that when I decided to go in alone and Aletheia came behind me, that's all right if you want to go in with that path. But you forced that path on me. Like, I could have gone in alone, but just like, she came up for nowhere. So it's not exactly divided. It may look fairly, how should I put this? The story is actually very linear. There's not much differences. The only thing happens when you pick the quote unquote correct choice is that what is that thing called? You end up with more points. You get a higher score. So basically, the pathway is fairly linear. Every now and then you will die. So that's the only thing that branches off a little bit. But you can just start over and then you go back to the linear path. There's not much of an option, despite the fact that you may think there's a lot of option. But it's still much better than Telltale series. Usually the Telltale series are very linear. They're extremely linear. usually don't let you go much out of the way. Very rarely they allow such a luxury. Okay, that's why they kinda closed. All is quiet near the temple of eternal love. Dawn has still not broken. There is a faint light coming from some of the higher temple windows, although no movement. From across the street, you and Narisa discuss your option. We cannot assume them wicked. They may not know that the evil lurks in their temple. They are being used as unwitted shields. I propose we do what is simple and knock on the front door, and if they dare lie, Aletheia will tell me. Unless there is the god of deceit, you counter. I think it best we not speak our mind, lest they murder us. And as for the front door, I say we find a more creative entrance. You would have us break in like common thieves, and what if they catch us? What will they do then? You said that we were scouting, you argue. Well, how is knocking on the front door accomplishing your quest going to accomplish anything other than give them a fair warning? I did not come here to do my enemy a favor. Narisa sighs. I concede your point, however, it remains that we are not experienced burglars and this is not some barn you wish to break into. Let fate decide, you say as you pull out a copper coin from your pocket. Narisa shrugs and chuckles. A coin toss? Very well. Aletheia has given me no promptings on this matter. Perhaps she will guide your coin. What Narisa does not know is what you know is a simple magic trick. Oh man, Narisa does not know is that you know a simple magic trick, little more than a trick really, that enables you to decide what side of the coin comes up. Which do you choose? Find a creative way in. Let's break in. We do it your way then, Narisa's whisper when she sees the result of the coin toss. I can ask Aletheia to grant us protection from the evil possession. However, the protection will only last a few minutes, and I can cast it but once per day. You have encountered this evil spirit before. Do you expect it to attack as we approach? It may take some time to get in and longer still to find the beast. It would be wise to save the spell, you say. Gorgon's ring protects you from the city seers, which has likely kept you free since you escaped from the dungeon. You doubt, however, the ring offers protection against possession. Wards of items are typically very specific. Well, burglar, how shall we enter? Perhaps you could climb the ivy up to one of those balconies. I have rope. You could throw them to me after you make the climb. You carry rope? You do not? I thought you fancied yourself an adventurer, she says with a half smile. And why must I climb? Do I look like a cat to you? You ask. Chivalry. Oh man, that's hilarious. Let me read that again. Perhaps you could climb the ivy up to one of those balconies. I have a rope you could throw down to me after you make the climb. You carry rope? You do not? I thought you fancied yourself an adventurer, she says with a half smile. And why must I climb? Do I look like a cat to you? You ask. Chivalry? She is frowning now. Ha! You are more a knight than I. Of the two of us, you wear the armor, you protest. Precisely. How can I climb with all this weighing me down? She motions at her body. Well, I have a spell that will allow me to climb like a spider, you say thoughtfully. Although, would they not expect an intruder to enter by the balcony? My guess is that they have taken precautions we cannot see. There might be a door along the side or a back wall of the temple. A secret evil cult might have a secret back exit. Shrugs. I see only a smooth wall. If you have a way to find a hidden door, it is worth a try. Otherwise, we will look rather conspicuous running our hands along the temple as though massaging a horse. What do you do? Look for the secret door. I think it would be less conspicuous if we act though we are a married couple. Shall we hold hand as we inspect the fine craftsmanship, you suggest? No, Narisa chuckles. You have never seen her laugh before. It is very nice. There is no way to search a long wall inconspicuously. It is best that we simply work fast. So the two of you trot down to the wall and begin running your hand along the smooth marble. Feeling for crack or indentious. My key, it will vibrate near a lock, you realize. You pull out your master key and gently slide it along the wall as you walk. Finally, on the back of the temple, the key vibrates. Here, you whisper. The two of you inspect the wall closely, but you can see nothing. You decide to follow the intensity of the key vibration to home it on the lock. After some time of careful sliding and prodding, the key goes into the wall. As soon as it is in, the outline of the door appears, hidden under a powerful illusion. You say with a satisfied smile. Man, that's funny that they put a powerful illusion to hide the door, but they didn't put on a magical lock. They just put on like a normal lock. So that's kind of funny. And usually hidden entrances don't actually have a lock. They usually just you find them and they just pop into existence, like Dark Souls illusion walls and stuff like that. Okay. What I was thinking, okay, I was thinking about something else. The door opens to darkness. Narissa lights a lantern and enters first. The air stinks of rotting meat. Like the outer wall, the hallway is made of polished granite. The door shuts behind you as though sensing you are inside. With some trepidation, you move forward. Suddenly, there is a snarl. Out of the darkness springs a grey-skinned man with a manacle around his neck, with a chain trailing body. His body appears to be rotting, and half its face is peeled back. The man or monster, as it were, tries to grab Narissa, and she twists out of his grab. What do you do? I can't use too much. I'll let Narissa handle it. Narissa seems to have this covered. You step back out of its reach. It's on a chain. You coach from behind. She does as you suggest and retreats while batting the thing's claws away with her mace. As you both approach back up the secret door, the chain goes taut, and the thing can no longer pursue. No longer having to fight defensively, Narissa steps forward and starts swinging hard at the creature. It stupidly strains against the chain. Narissa finally connects with the head of the thing, sending gore against the side wall. The monster falls to the floor and lies motionless. Narissa bashes it on the ground several times, sending more grisly debris all over. I hate ghouls, she says, panting. Is that what that was? Temple of Eternal Love? Naval's cat. There is no love there, you exclaim as you point at the ghoul's body. Is this not ground for getting reinforcements storming this place? It does not speak well for this temple. It does not speak well of this temple, not well. There lies a monster raising from the dead, chained up as though a guard dog. Well, our clerics are spread out due to reports of such evil in the city. Since we are here now, let us take a look around to better understand an enemy. You do not agree with the need for more investigation. How you grudgingly follow her lead. Narissa finds a door leading out into the torch-lit hall. There are voices nearby. The two of you creep along the hall, which leads to a balcony overlooking a large ceremonial chamber. Below are people, or so you presume, wearing long yellow robes and smooth purple masks. Most of them. Okay, half an hour more. Most of them are prostrated before a blood-stained altar. Atop the altar is a woman who is tied and gagged. You recognize the young woman as Kaiba. Oh, Kaiba, bound and helpless again. You shake your head in disgust. If the situation did not look so dire, for only a few feet above the struggling and crying woman floats a shadow, its red, blurry and shifting eyes regarding its prey. Now that you have a time to better study this phantom in a good light, you recognize this. The malevolent spirit from the Castle Avernus. Unrull. Although the phantom has no mouth, you recognize the icy voice and now speaks. You will give me a true body. No longer will I be a guest here. You will merge me with the soul of one born to this world. Who will make this offering? I will, my lord. One of the figures step forward and reverently takes off his robe and mask, sets it aside the altar. It is the man in gleaming plate mail armor. Baron Tertio. I know. You look over and meet Narissa's eyes. Evidently, she is just as surprised at you. The congregation begins chanting and swaying, prostrating themselves before the altar. The chanting is a combination of Inferal, the language of Nightmare Dimension, and Mardith, an even older language seldom used now outside of the most ancient of beings, such as dragon, angels, demons, and the like. Okay, so in this world, gods and demons, the angels and demons are on the same existence. So yes, no, so you could possibly kill an angel as well. You do not know these languages well, so you only understand bit and pieces. However, it appears to be a sacrificial ceremony to the god of undead Nerul. At one point, the Baron stands up, brings the scroll up, and addresses the shadow directly. Unrull. Setith Dordenet Lashne Walath. The Baron keeps intoning name after name in Mardith. You look over and meet Narissa's frightening eye. Obviously, she understands what you just realized, that this ghost is no more and is no mere ghost or dark poltergeist, but a demon. It is the structure of the name that gives it away. A litany of names, really, the first denoting the demon, the second name that of the demon's master in the abyss. Wait. It is the structure of the names that gives it away. A litany of names, really. The first denoting the demon, that is Unral. The second name is that of the demon's master, so a stronger demon from the abyss. And then it's master's master. Oh my god, it's okay. Okay, I got it. So the demon is one of the average power demons. He's not the weakest type. He's an average power demon. He's not a lesser. He could be a lesser demon actually. So let's say he's a lesser demon, and his master would be an archdemon, and his master's master would be the demon king. Master's master, and on and okay, so it's going up and up. So he's very low on the power scale. I was thinking he was fairly powerful, but he's very on the power scale, considering he said, but then it's master's masters and on up to the supreme demon lord. Finally, the Baron finishes the full name of the beast and says, "We invite you to join our world." He then points to Kaiba on the altar. "We offer this flesh. We ask you to join the soul within, to bound to our world until the end of time." Having finished his annotation, the Baron climbs the dig and picks up a jewel-encrusted dagger, cuts Kaiba's bare thighs, puts the dagger back on the altar, begins licking and sucking at the wound. Another member of the congregation steps forward, removes his mask and robe to reveal a nude woman who you recognize as the wife of a wealthy local merchant. Tattooed on her back is the mark of Nerul. She picks up a dagger, cuts Kaiba's arm and begins sucking in the wound. Another member of a guard disrobes to reveal Nerul's mark on his naked body as well. He follows the same ritual as the other. She's going to die because she's going to lose too much blood. Perhaps the children of Nerul and the Temple of Eternal Love are one and the same, you wonder. The suckling interrupt their feeding from time to time in order to dab some blood on the fingers and paint finger. Nearby Kaiba struggle against her board and cries in a gag. Murderous villains. And Narissa yells. The ritual stops. Okay, she yelled at them. She's stupid. I should have used she should give me an option to attack them. I should have used like a firebolt or something to burn them. She just gave our position away. Fucking idiot. Narissa yells, the ritual stops, and the entire congregation looks up. Apparently, Narissa could not stand by and watch this woman be bled to death. You respect her courage and morality, but not so much as his tactical instinct. The demon's red eyes fix on the two of you. Narissa says in a short prayer, puts a hand on her shoulder. Tingling spreads throughout your body. Stay near me and you will be protected by Aletheia, she tells you. The demon streaks towards you at a terrifying speed, but stops several feet away, as though he had struck a wall. "I am your vessel, my lord," the Baron proclaims up to the demon with outstretched arm. The shadow dives back into the Baron's armored body. Immediately, the Baron glares up at me and shouts, "Bring them to me." The Baron then leaps onto the wall and begins climbing toward you like a spider. Why do we stand here? Run, you shove Narissa. Cover the exits below. I will guard them above, shouts the demon-possessed Baron. The two of you dash towards the way you came in, but you can hear many footsteps coming from that direction. They have cut you off. Without thought where you are going, you run towards down long hallway with many doors. The pursuers are not in sight. All you can hear is their shout. Can the demon... Yeah, the demon cannot detect me. Can he? Let's hide in one of the rooms. Because he could not see me in any way or shape or form until Narissa shouted like an idiot. Okay, let us hide in one of these rooms, you say, pointing at the nearby door. The two of you enter what appears to be a storage room for food and other supplies. There's a sack of grain and crates piled up along the wall. You both squeeze behind a wall of crates and wait. The two of you barely breathing as you listen to the sounds of boots running back and forth. At one point you hear the door open, someone walk in. They quickly leave. A few minutes later you hear, "Set them loose." Shout from south. What the fuck did I just do? Set them loose. You ask Narissa in a whisper. She shrugs. In any case, we will need to attempt an escape. Eventually, they will search more thoroughly, room by room. Not if they think we have already escaped the temple and you searching the city respond. Make a break for it. I don't think that they said set them loose is more than likely dogs. So it's not a good idea. Make a break for it. Life decreases too. The two of you creep out from your hiding place, listening at the door. It is quiet as there is now. There is a slight creaking noise as you open the door. Two of you try your best to creep down the hallway, but Narissa's armor make more noise than you would like. Suddenly, you hear a slithering noise and look over to see what looks like a corpse sprinting towards you from the side hallway. The slithering noise is from a long, unattached chain mangling around the monster's neck that is dragging behind over the marble floor. Ghoul, Narissa says. You try to duck behind the armored Narissa, but the things grab you, tears into your arm with its nasty teeth. Since the ghoul is now lashed onto you, Narissa has an easy enough time beating on the thing with her mace. Soon its head is caved in and it lies motionless on the floor. Gripping your bleeding arm, you continue down the hall. There is a stairway going up. So they're ghouls and they won't function like zombies, I guess. Apparently. They don't function like zombies. Considering, I mean, if they do, then I'm dead. But then what is in the next few chapters? So try to duck behind the armored Narissa, but the thing grabs you and tears into your arm with her nasty flesh. So, okay, yeah, that's done. Gripping your bleeding arm, you continue down the hall. There is a stairway going up and the stairway going down that you think... Well, I thought there would be dogs, but apparently they were ghouls. Stairway going down that you think will lead you out the front. Unfortunately, hear movement down there. You peek over the banister and see the three robed figures. You suspect there might be more still, since one of them appears to be speaking to someone out of your line of sight. From somewhere above, you hear the faint footfalls of boots on the marbles. Behind are so many shouts and sounds of boots. You must act fast. The demon walks above. By my goddess honor, I will go meet him. Are you with me? She whispers in your ear. Suicidal cleric, you think. There is a window nearby. As a third option, you could throw yourself through the window and cast a spell to break your fall. This is certainly the closest means of escape, but unfortunately means leaving Narissa behind. Ooh, well, I'm not leaving Narissa behind because if I leave Narissa behind, then it will be a complete problematic situation. She's the only one in the entire city who knows or at least thinks at this point that I am innocent. And if I leave her and she dies, then that option gets cut out. And even if she survives, maybe she will hold a grudge and will go more for things like, say like, yeah, he was the one who killed them. Something like that. So, yeah. Man, who should I fight? A demon-possessed human or a bunch of normal humans? I was convinced her to fight downstairs. And these ads, can they give me something more PC ads, not about kissing and condoms or what that? Fucking hell. Grab hold of Narissa's arm and say, if we die, the truth of this place is lost. Come. She seems to see the reason in your words, for she reluctantly follows you down the stairs. As you descend into the huge hall, you see a total of 5 of the enemies holding hands in a circle. All of them are wearing the long yellow robe and purple mask, except for the one you recognize as the wealthy merchant's wife. Eventually, she did not bother putting her robe and mask back on since you interrupted the ceremony. She sees you first and shouts out. She then starts a dark prayer. Let's use a fan of flames. I think I have enough mana for that. An area of effects spell AoE. Yeah, I saw that. When he absolutely positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitutes. Mana decreases 4, life decreases 2, morale increases 3. You charge down the stair to get in range for your spell. On the way down, the merchant's wife points at you. She's still naked, by the way. The merchant's wife points at you and utters a curse. The sizzling dark ray shoots from her finger and hits you in the hip. The painful cold shoots through your body. They then go hitting you with their soul-sucking dark magic again, just like back in Castle in Inverness. Before any of the other cultists can react, you're in range, you release your spell. Fire jets out of your fingers, bathing them all in flames. They scream and fall to the ground, burning to death. And then there are shouts from the stairways above. The two of you can sprint to the front door which of course are locked. Thankfully, a magical key takes care of that, and two of you running off into the dawn light as dark bolts of chiseling energy past your heads. You hear shouts from behind. And then a loud bell chimes from somewhere. Gods, they muster the city itself against us, you ask. So it would seem, Narissa answers between breaths. We must make haste to my temple. There a straw merchant. Perhaps we can stow away in his cart. An old nag pulls that cart. Do you not want a more expeditious retreat, you say? Charm the merchant. Silliness. Just keep running. Let's just keep running. Holy shit, I died? And this is my first death. Apparently that was not a good option. Down the road, the two of you run, trying to get as much distance between you and the temple as you can. When you are a few blocks away, you hear a panic-induced sounds, hoofbeats. Of course, it's well-to-dos of that cursed temples have horse. This way, you shout to Narissa. As you veer down a side alley, look back, there is one rider wearing a plate mail armor still behind you. Naval scat, he rides a war horse. Fear pulses through you. Looking back was a mistake. You trip over a pile of refuse. Their alleys are little more than trash receptacles. Cursed medieval hygiene. Narissa nearly joins you on the ground as she forced to leap over you. Then comes the warrior. The rider does not have room in the narrow alley to effectively swing his sword, but he doesn't have to. His armored mount is trained to trample enemies. You do your best to roll and avoid his trampling hoof, but you still get hoofed to the stomach as the knight rides over you. Alas, you finally succumb to your wounds and collapse. Let's go back to the last checkpoint. Alright, man, I would like to finish this faster. Find a creative way in. Look for the secret door. Let Narissa handle it. Hide in one of the rooms. I'm just making the same choices. I'm just gonna switch from where I died so that I don't have to, that would be kind of cheating if I change the options now all of a sudden. Of course, after I'm done, I'm gonna try and find other ways to, get a better ending. Make a break for it. Convince her to fight downstairs. Farflame. Yeah, I wanted to change it for a second, but no. This is what I'm going to change. I think the chapter is about to end, so I'm gonna charm the merchant. Charm the merchant. Morale increases 1. Wow. Well, technically it's morale, not moral. Again, confusing those two things. The two of you run up to the long-bearded man who is gently coaxing his horse wagon that pulls the straw wagon. Without as much as a hello, you wave your hand and speak the arcane words. Like a thread pulled taut, you feel the connection created between you and the merchant. He gives you a huge smile, rushes over, embraces you as the old friend he believes you to be. Quickly, you explain that you are being pursued and need to be smuggled away. He ushers you and Narissa under the straw of his wagon, and you're off. Without shocks or springs, medical wagons are all uncomfortable to ride in. The two of you are rattled and jostled in the dark. Despite the noise of the wagon wheels against the cobblestone beneath, you hear heavy hoofbeats come up alongside the cart. Someone shouts a question, presumably to the merchant, asking whether he has seen a man and a cleric on the Aletheia on this road. You cannot hear the answer, but you hear the hooves clack away ahead of you. After what seems like forever, the cart stops and the merchants give you the all clear. You emerge, give the merchants a goodbye hug. He insists on this, and you're on your way. As you hurry through the increasing morning traffic towards the temple of Aletheia, you lean over to Narissa and whisper, "Did you notice the marks of Nerul on those in the temple?" Narissa nods. The temple of eternal love is the temple of Nerul, goddess of the undead, right under our noses all these years. He says thoughtfully. It actually makes sense. The name Temple of Eternal Love, I mean. How so? Do you not know that how Nerul became the goddess of undead? Vishnu responds. It is said that in times long forgotten, Nerul was a great queen of men. As is typical of many rulers, she took many lovers. But eventually she fell deeply in love with a knight called Flareon of Bryson. Sir Flareon was not the highest born, but he possessed courage, spirit, strength and purity of heart beyond all others. Having finally found a worthy man, the Queen Nerul consented to marry. However, on the morn they were to be wed, Bahal, the demon lord who despises above all the happiness of mortal, entered this world. It is said that Nerul had made a deal with Bahal long ago, her soul in exchange for a long, prosperous rule, where her absolute rule was about to end, and the demon planned to collect. Oh, wait, a demon lord came in? So Bahal is the demon lord? The demon lord. So wait, is there a difference between the Supreme Demon Lord and the Demon Lord? Is like, I'm thinking, I'm guessing, I'm hoping at least that the Demon Lord is like an archdemon and there's the Demon King above him. Because if it's a direct Demon King, then damn, that her soul must be extremely valuable if someone would allow that much compared to her long prosperous rule, like a long prosperous rule over a kingdom and just for a soul. So like her soul must be like worthy or something. If you want to watch a show that is similar regarding to demons and what is it called, exchanges of souls, go watch Black Butler. Black Butler is a good show. It has all of the things. It has comedy, it has action, and it also possesses this very dark underlying plot that they prefer you don't see, or like they cover it up for whatever reason, but it's there. You can see it, and the ending is also very beautiful, you could say. When the first season was ending, I was thinking, man, that's the end. I mean, it's still pretty good, but come on, man, I wanted a little more. But when they dropped the second season, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good end. I'm pretty sure there was 2 seasons. There could be 3. I watched all 3 and now I don't remember that there were 3. But I do remember how it ended. So yeah, it's a good show. You can watch it. Black Butler. Okay. How much time do I have? Man, I have like 10 minutes maximum. However, on the morn they were to be wed. The Bahal, the demon, he came. Demon Lord. Despises all mortal, blah, blah, blah. Well, her absolute rule was about to end and planned to collect. But first the demon visited Flareon in his chambers, offered to spare Queen Nerul's soul in exchange for Flareon's. Flareon being the man, he was consented to the deal. Bahal made off with a great demon soul. Nerul was beside herself with grief, rage, and guilt, exactly what the demon intended. Nerul focused her considerable fortune and power upon finding magic to bring her true love back to her. Eventually, she spawned the darkest of magic, necromancy. She summoned countless souls to her world, filling corpses of the decrepit graves, desperately searching for the one. She was the first necromancer, you say? You ask, indeed. The soul she not used to swell the ranks of her undead army, she fed on to gain more power. She never aged, never needed food, drink, or rest. One day after many centuries, she simply vanished. Legend has it that she searches still for Flareon, her eternal love in the endless multiverse. So there is a multiverse in this world. To think that from love such horror could emerge, you mutter. Yeah, yonder is. A demon delights in nothing so much as turning love to blasphemy. Narissa says, love to blasphemy. You think, what of my brother, Ragnar? Could I have been the one to slay him? The thought is painful and taxes your steps, all the more because deep inside you know it is true. Do what? Unburden yourself to Narissa. What will she do? Wait, what? All the more. Deep inside you know it is true. Do you unburden yourself to Narissa? What will she do? Is she not your only friend now? You fear she may turn against you if she knows the truth. What you'll do? Yeah, I will tell her because, I'm already... how should I put this? If I stay silent on the matter, the demon's gonna be little like, oh, you remembered that you killed him, you didn't tell her, or some bullshit like that. Let me just tell her. Narissa, I fear it was I who killed my friend Legonard. I cannot remember it, but inside there is a part of me, a darkened corner of my soul that is certain. Her voice trembles. I've known this, Narissa whispered back. I have only known that such an act was not by your will. By my hand, it was by my hand. You grasp for air. Narissa takes you by the arm and leads you off the main road. Then she gently pulls your head onto her shoulder. I slew him. I slew a brother. The gods know you. The gods know who you are. You are no murderer. You're brave and good. The demon is only a guest here. It needs the flesh of another to do its bidding. Few can resist. I should have beaten him. Your voice trails off. The demon Unrul in his name is his name. Surely you spent a great deal of power to possess an intellect such as yours. Turn you against your most basic nature. Why? Why not subvert the soul of another man more cheaply brought? As I've said, demons delight in turning the best of men. However, you serve a greater purpose. A scapegoat? Indeed, such a beast does not belong to this world, and thus the thwart of ever-present pull of the abyss. He must expand a great deal of power harvested by crushing souls. As I am a wizard, I made a plausible killer. Evil wizards often crush souls, you say. Indeed, many once respected wizards have fallen to such temptations. Even those of my order sometimes turn to more immediate means of power, Narisa said. And so that explains why Unrul helped me escape the dungeon. He needed to continue to kill and needed to continue to take the blame. And yet you believe in me? Narisa chuckles. I did not. As I meditated, I had a vision of Aletheia smiling beside you. She leads you back onto the road and continue backing towards the temple. And what does your goddess tell you now of the demon's Unrul's plan? In in what way does he seeks a permanent body in this world? Narisa shakes away. Oh, by the way, I forgot Kaiba there. I thought I would be more concerned with her, but I guess we are not that connected. I was definitely sure he's gonna be like, oh shit, they're harming Kaiba, and like go all anime and like launch a firebolt at them, or like a fan of flames or something like that. But apparently not. I mean, I thought we would do something regarding that matter, but we just left. I mean, we still have plans to go back, but still. Alright. Shakes said, mortals and gods do not converse as you and I do now. Divine messages are subtle and lack details. Anything more risks anger from the other gods. Anything more risks anger from the other god. And so, as an answer to your question, I do not know. I hope one of our high priests can help. Alethia's temple stands ahead of you. The streets here is quite strange. Jugar always stands at the door of at this time of the morning. It is a new day. Aletheia shall grant me her healing breath again. Hold a moment. The cleric then appears to go into a meditative trance for a minute, or after which she lays her hand upon you. You feel warm tingling spread through your body as your wounds heal and strength is restored. My life is still one, by the way. So it didn't do anything. As she heals herself, then two of you stride onward toward the temple of the door. The front door stands open. Inside, bodies are strewn about. Puddles of blood mar the otherwise perfectly white floor. Blood splatters against the walls and symbols in blood are everywhere. Everything is still. Like a horror panting, Narisa's mouth hangs open in disbelief. For a moment, then she says, I suspect it is only you and I, wizard. By Aletheia, we'll make them pay for this. Damn, that was a fancy ending. I didn't think they were that strong. I mean, I know there are like few of them, like 8 or 9, 10, 20 of them. But I didn't think they were that powerful or that many of them that were capable of just like slaughtering an entire temple worth of people. And the city guard does not know about this. They did this under the city guard's nose, and they don't even know that they slaughtered an entire temple's worth of people. Like, goddamn, that's a lot of people. Let's show the volume stats at death's door. You ended the volume very close to death, but you made it because I was at 1 health. Nice. Complete Wizard 2. Nice. You have achieved 34% of the points possible in the Wizard Choice series. Signs of life have been detected by this software. 81.34% probability you're not doing this by accident. Alright. Well played. Now you're a fugitive on the trail of your friend's killer. Your score is 641. Very low, according to what I would like it to be. It's actually pretty high, actually. I mean, if I would have gotten like, what, 109 more, I would have gotten the deadly and absurdly handsome cunning rogue, survivor with nice teeth, better of the trousers. I got 641, so I'm gonna try and get a better score. Hey, nice. Hey, you survived. Nice. Interactive fiction readers like you are awesome. Shameless plug. Please aid the future of the interactive fiction by giving a good rating. I certainly will. Okay, so this is it. Let me just real quick real quick. Start the chapter over. Necessary. Let's start the chapter over just real quick. Do I want to? I think we ended up pretty fairly good. I mean, I could look up. Just hold on a second. Alright, so I might have found the walkthrough. Let me try that. So I got 670 or 641, right? Let's go back. Start the chapter over. Okay. God damn it. That looks cool. Let's go back down. First of all, you run. Your mana health go down. You're standing in the doorway of a murdered man with blood in your hands. Another testifies against you. This guard is more likely to run you through than to listen to your side of your story. It's time to run, but where? The path is guarded by you down the hallway as the guard shouts an order for you to stop. You try the left door on your left, locked of course. Residents of the inn are not likely to leave their doors unlocked. Heavy footfalls of foot grow louder. Without time for a better plan, you do something that you have only seen done in tavern brawls. You run like a boar at the window at the end of the hall and leap through it headfirst. As you pass through the window on the second story, begin to fall, you wave a hand and utter a word. Your body suddenly caught by magical force that allows your descent, allowing you to right yourself. You float to the ground like a feather. Stop, devil, comes a shout from above. You cut your bruises from the window are not too bad. So you run off as fast as you can. When you are some distance from the inn, okay, yeah. First of all, disguise yourself. Fuck off. Second of all, buy a disguise. Right, this is already we have seen. Then haggle for a lower price. Yeah, this is already right. I chose this option. Buy another cloak. We did this as well. As the candle maker to seer. We did not do this. We tried to sneak in. As the candle maker to seer. Diplomat. Just talking can often get you what you want. A language, even a greater invention than fire. True that. Communication is very important. Thirdly, no one yet knows I am hunted. You assure yourself. You walk into the front door and approach the candle maker. Good sir, I humbly request to see Kaiba. The candleman looks up from his work, his eyebrow raised slightly. I am a brother, Jacob. Who might you be? Say who you are. Okay. Super honest. Good for you. How's that working out for you? You pull off your hood and tell him your name. My sister's rescuer, he exclaims, and dropping his work and comes over and embraces you warmly. Then thanks you over and over, and finally you put up a hand and say, okay, chat, that's the same. That's literally the same, okay. Says you try to calm her. This is what we did last time. Then cover her with a blanket. This is what we did last time. Okay. Question her more. Yeah, this is what we did last time. We cast an illusion. What is this? Yeah, we cast an illusion last time as well. You wanna cast an illusion again? Fuck off with your kissing bullshit. Impersonate Reginald. That's better apparently. Last time I chose impersonate a double of yourself, so it looks exactly like me. So I thought that would throw them off. And it did throw them off, but apparently this is a better choice. Impersonate Reginald. So we impersonate Reginald. Because he was your friend since childhood, you can easily recall every detail of Reginald. As you complete the incantation, there's a brief shimmer before your eyes. You haven't much time, so you jog up your quad. The ever-watchful guard sees you first. His eyes widen and he stumbles. He sputters. Looking for me? You ask, using your best Reginald impersonation. My god, I impersonated Reginald. I thought I was just making that. Looking for me? You ask, using your best Reginald impression. This is easy. Growing up, you always enjoyed teasing Reginald by mimicking his simple mannerisms. Crack nearly jumps out of his skin. He holds your book out in front of him like a shield. News of my death has been greatly exaggerated, you say, smiling one of Reginald's winning smiles. In the back of your mind, you hope Reginald's spirit is laughing somewhere in the next world, but his spirit got crushed. I mean, his soul. It cannot be, Kalak says. Obviously, it was someone else who lay dead at the Leering Virgin. An easy mistake to make. I should imagine, as I heard it, the man was a bloody mess. Oh, and this does not belong to you, does it? You gently pull the book from the Kalak's trembling hands. Witchcraft, William gasped. You smile and shake your head. Can there not be two men of remarkable likeness in a city as grand as this? You notice a slight shimmer in your peripheral vision. Your illusion is beginning to break up. You turn quickly, put up your hand in farewell. Stop, William commands. I will have a closer look at you. The illusion is fading now, and you will not hold up to any scrutiny. You run. William shouts again and struggles through a throng of people to catch up. But you have a good head start, unlike William wear no armor. We have already read this. Okay. So next is that actually ended fairly well. I mean, I think I got this. Yeah, I didn't get the morale boost. I didn't get the morale boost when we, stole the book by, casting an illusion of ourselves. But attempt to talk to Mala. Let's talk to Mala. Yeah, see. They chose Ton the Corrupt. It says Yon the Corrupt here, but it's Ton the Corrupt. Yeah, even they chose the corrupt one. I told you, bribing is a big thing, alright? Bribing is a very big thing. Bribing is very essential to the structure of our societies, especially the society I live in. Ton the Corrupt, it's written Yon the Corrupt here. Attempt to bribe, 5 gold. Alright, okay, yeah. Rely on your cloak. Gold decreases 4, yeah. Reveal yourself. Rely on the cloak. Right. Wait, hold on. Rely on your cloak. That's done. Reveal yourself. So wait, hold on. So this is a fake option then. Bribe her, gold 15. This is actually a troll option. I thought this wasn't a troll option. There might be a way to get 15 gold, but apparently there's no way to get 15 gold because you spent 5 gold on your clothing, and then I guess yeah. This is not a troll option actually. If you don't buy another clothing and just stick to your disguise or use an impersonation by using magic, then maybe you can do this and the ending would be like a bit worse. But for the time being, you will have 15 gold to bribe her. Okay, so reveal yourself, done. Charm her. Just charm her. We already did this. I did this, the same thing. I did the rest as well. I did rest. I remember that. Okay, let's do this later. And next is spider climb spell. Right. I did not do this. I did stride forward assertively. Just let the spider climb a spell. You whisper a few arcane words and press your hands against the wall of a building. Your hands seem to almost sink into the bricks. Without delay, you crawl up the side of a building like a spider as fast as you can. Just as you pull yourself over the top of the roof, you young men come around the corner. The lantern light of the street does not reach you very well, so you feel uncomfortable peering down at them. There are 3 men. All of them are carrying weapon at the ready, as though they might engage in melee at any moment. The two have swords and one has a nasty looking spike club. Gods, this is a tough neighborhood, think to yourself. They're all engaged in some ravenous conversation. None look up. After they're gone, you climb down, continue your search for Gorgon's lairs, as Mala called it. After a few more calls with the precision, the building is much like the others. Yeah, already said this. Already seen this, right? What is that? Oh yeah, the frog, that thing, right? Let me get a screenshot for like thumbnails. I'm speaking a bit slowly because everyone in my house is just like, running about, doing their things. What is it? Hopefully the mic can actually pick that up, me talking. Let's do burn it. I did not do burn it. I tried to talk your way in. Let's burn it. Morale increases 3. I'm here to see Gorgon, you say as you approach the rat. I know, the whereat else be here now, who ye be, a friend, can you let me in? The whereat puts one flurry hand on a tight belt on his belt. I will cut your throat if you don't answer my question plainly. I am Colabatas Reba Fortunus. You say the arcane word as you raise your hand. A fan of flames engulf your fingertips, engulfing both the rat and the heap of trash he's standing in. The high-pitched squeak of his as he falls, rolling to put out the flames of the burning fur. But the trash beneath him must consist of some flammable material, for it is now on fire too. After a moment of panic, he manages to roll clear of the burning refuse. However, by this time, he's completely covered in flames, and it is not long before he stops moving altogether. Right, I got slashed here. I did kill him, but I took some damage. Approach carefully, give the rat a few stabs for good measure. With your stagger for good measure. His burnt fur and skin smells dreadful. You cut the key from his belt, unlock, and you move in. Yeah, we already read this part. What is it? Impersonate bear rat. I thought that would be a bad idea, but alright. Burn it and then impersonate bear rat. Let's impersonate bear rat. Having seen the bear rat up close, you are capable of creating an illusion of him. First, you back up down the hall to leave enough room to make sure they don't hear you make your incantation. Once finished, you do your best to mimic the bear rat's scurry walk as you enter the room. The man looks over at you. Snivel, what do you want? Demands Gorgon in a common tongue. You do not expect that you can mimic the bear rat's speech, so in response, you tilt your snout towards the way you came, gesturing Gorgon to follow you. You then walk out. Gorgon says something in a language you don't understand, then you hear his boots clomping up behind you. Answer me, rat, he barks. The two of you are far down the hall now. There's no sign of the other man, although Gorgon is still carrying his battle axe. The illusion is beginning to flicker a little and will not last much longer. You walk over next to him and point down the hall. He looks to where you're pointing. Now is the time to strike. Okay, so what do we do? Last time I fucking fire blasted him and fucking almost killed him in one shot. He still managed to stab me actually. I thought he would die immediately, but whatever. But this time we are gonna do a little less powerful spell and firebolt him. Personal Virad and then firebolt him. Life decreases 1. It says health increases 1, but it's decreased. Morale plus 3, right? As Gorgon peers down the hall, trying to see where you are pointing at, you pelt him in the head with a firebolt. He roars in a fury as he swings the battle axe, but he is blind from the flame that have engulfed his head. You jump out of range. He then drops his weapon and starts batting at his head and face in a vain attempt to extinguish the flame. You finish him off with a few more stabs. There's a noise and you look up to see the man Gorgon has been arguing with earlier in the other end of the hallway. He smiles at you and runs off in the other direction. Without a moment to lose, you search Gorgon's hand for his warded copper ring and find it and put it on. Next, you cut the rope. A rope double knotted to the naked man's long hair, and he falls to the floor. Yeah, this is the same thing. Right? Suddenly you hear a loud bang followed by a rush of water from somewhere in the house. You run to the door. You suppose the square-jawed man had run through, but the lock is now you're trapped. Yeah, this is the same thing. Okay, this is the same thing. I got my mana life up, right? And after that, what? Ask for her somewhat pitifully. Ask for help somewhat pitifully. It says ask for her somewhat pitifully. It's like I'm asking her, please give me some of that. Come on, man, a little bit, just a little bit. Like, ask for her. That's hilarious. Who wrote this? Like, I'm not reading from the what you are saying. I'm reading off a walkthrough. The walkthrough is fucked. Whoever wrote this did not do a good job at like proofreading it. That's hilarious. Let's do this. Fuck off. Let's do this, and then, as I said, he would stab me if I stay put, so I'm gonna escape the dungeon. Blur of question run through blur of question, yeah, same thing. The key the guard gave you vibrates slightly, yeah, blah blah blah. A blur of question runs through your mind. Is it the murderer or merely a good man possessed by an evil spirit? If the murderer, why help you escape? Do you dare to go back down there, or should you leave now before you're caught? After all, who do you suppose will be blamed for all of this? So what am I gonna do? Escape the dungeon, leave now. Your first priority is not to hang for something you haven't done, so you decide to get out of the barracks. The city outside is silent. It must be late. Take a deep breath and try to think of where to go next. You have no idea. I will hide nearby and watch the barracks. This is only one exit. Wherever evil lurks inside may leave. You can then follow it. You hide inside of a dark narrow alley across from the barracks. You see, after a few minutes, you see a inky blackness emerge through the closed door. It is what appears to be red glowing eyes, like the shadow fiend from Castle Everness, you realize. The thing travels down one of the... I already read this. Next is leave the dungeon, leave now. Stay hidden and watch. This is what I did last time. Stay hidden and watch. And after that, I'm gonna seek help from Narissa. Last time I got it alone, and then she, maced me. Well, it's not her fault. I kind of raised my hand to launch a spell at her for whatever reason, but whatever. We will do it another time. Let's seek help from Narissa. Yes, that. The Temple of Aletheia is a tall, vaulted cathedral covered in stained glass. It strikes you as Argan, the goddess of protection, has a temple made of such brittle material. Perhaps that is the point. One is to seek protection through the goddess, not man and his creation. The white-robed priest with a shaven head stands before the front door, greets you. With your hood up, your head low, you ask to see. That's fuck all. I thought, because last time when I chose to not seek her help, she clearly, you know what she did? She kind of spawned right behind me and smacked me. So like it should have been like, yeah, now I'm gonna ask for Narissa's help. So I turn around, she's right there, and then I'm like, oh, help Narissa. So she's like, all right, not smack me in the face with the mace. But apparently this time I go in, go back all the way to. It's not consistent, is what I'm trying to say. A white-robed priest, the shaven head, stands before you, the front, with your hood up and your head low. You ask to see Narissa. He gazes at you and utters a short prayer, after which he instructs you to remove your shoes. He then leads you into the temple, leaves you in a windowless room with chairs surrounding a round table. You hear the door click after it shuts. You wonder if he means to hand you over to a city authority. You hold your magical master key out near the door. It vibrates gently. It tells you that you could escape if you wish to. Nevertheless, you decide to wait. It's quiet some time before Narissa, the priest, walks into the room. Narissa's armor and helmet are wet from the morning drizzle outside. The one you wanted to see. The priest says to the cleric and then nods at you. It is said that you bought your escape from the dungeon with much blood, and yet here you are, Narissa says to you. It is said that you bought your escape from the dungeon with much blood, and here you are, Narissa says to you. I can explain all, you say. Do then. In response, you look over at the priest. Jalap is a disciple of Aletheia and can be trusted. Speak, Narissa commands. The three of you sit at the table. You tell your story, staring at the point after you. Narissa last spoke. The Temple of Eternal Love has been shrouding from our view since the day it was built 2 centuries ago. It is a good place for a spirit to hide, says Jalab. An evil spirit, you say. The two say nothing for a moment, and then Narissa says, you and I shall visit the temple and find out what business this shadow has in there. You believe me? I believe. You believe. One cannot lie easily here. Narissa motions to the door around you, and I have given a great deal of meditation to this matter since we spoke in the dungeon. There is indeed much wickedness brewing in the city, although you are bound to it somehow. Aletheia prompts me to trust you. Indeed, even to ask for your help. My help? Why not send in your warriors of Aletheia to notify this guard? The servants of Aletheia cannot simply march. Apologies. My throat's kind of, do not yet understand the enemies we face. The temple members may have nothing to do with it, at least not knowingly. This is the same thing. Alright, all got nailed and down is still not broken. Yeah, this is the same thing. Oh shit. Hold on. Find a creative way in. The same thing I did last time. Fuck off. With your pizza making me hungry. Look for a creative way in. Look for a secret door. This is the same thing I did last time. Look for a secret door. Morale +2. Burn it with flame bolt. Flame bolted. Last time I just backed up. A bolt of fire should be enough to do a lot of damage to this monster without hitting Narissa. Speak the arcane word, feel the sudden heat in your hand, and hurl the bolt of fire. You strike the creature in its side, and it immediately catches fire. It hitches and turns towards you. Narissa slams the thing in the back of your head and sends gore all over the floor. It falls to the floor, lies motionless. Okay, so this is already everything we have read. That's the imagery that I would prefer not to use on YouTube. Hopefully. If for DTube, I would have used it, because DTube does not give a shit what you upload. So I can upload thumbnails of all NSFW nature. So it's not a problem, but here it is a problem. Alright, next is hide in one of the rooms. Hold on. Burn it with a flame bolt. Done it. Hide in one of the rooms. I'm going to hide in one of the rooms. This is what I did last time. And then I'm going to make a break for it, which I did last time. And then I'm going to follow Narissa. Oh shit, you have to follow Narissa? Are you serious? Really? Because I thought if I went up to fight the demon, he would just kill me immediately. So I guess we are following Nerissa. Health minus, make a break for health minus 2, follow Nerissa. I'm gonna follow Marisa. Let's fight the demon then. Feel you have little choice but to follow your new friend as she leaps up the stairs. The two at a time, there's still a faint tingling in your body that you hope is the protection spell Nerissa cast earlier. As soon as you emerge from the stairway, you see the Baron. His cape is gone, revealing his gleaming armored body. He grins at you. It is a shame I must kill you, wizard. You have made a fine scapegoat. Nerissa, uninterested in conversation, interrupts his debate by charging him with her mace. Raised with astonishing speed, the Baron unsheathes his sword and parries her blow with one hand while punching her in the chest with the other gauntleted hand. Nerissa staggers backward under the blow. What do? Invite him to possess you? What the fuck? First of all, we're not gonna use lightning. We're gonna use firebolt. What the fuck? It's gonna reduce our health. All right. Blast with firebolt. I'm gonna blast him firebolt. The firebolt is quick to cast and not very costly, so it seems like a good choice. With the arcane word, the bolt of fire appears in your hand. The Baron smiles and springs at you as fast as he can. Your bolt hits him square in the chest plate and washes up around him. His beard is now on fire, but he does not seem to notice as he swings his sword. You try to dodge, but the blade slices deep into your side. You fall to the ground, clutching your wound. The Baron looks over you, glowing. Look at me, he commands. I'm going to crush your soul. Quick crunch. Nerissa's mace comes down hard on the Baron's helm, splattering blood over you. The Baron's body falls to the marble with a clang. You make a mental note to never gloat or otherwise waste time talking to someone who's you're about to kill. There's a long hissing. Yeah, that's the most anime thing you can do. This is a long hissing snarl from the demon as its shadowy body exists the Baron corpse. It shrieks towards you and then stops, blocked by Nerissa's still active protection spell. Demon then streaks away the stairway. It goes to find another host. You say to Nerissa, who now stands ready. We must run, but where? The front doors are below, our enemies are down there. They lack a leader at the moment. Perhaps you can break through them, you suggest. What do you say? What I'm gonna do is fight my way out. Man, why these options look shittier than the way I have picked up the last option. The starting ones were good, but these look shit. Man, but I still have to pick them. Apparently this is a good playthrough and will get me what I need. That would suck otherwise. Let's see. Next says fight your way out. Hold on. God damn it. Okay, yeah, this is the same thing. Why am I attacking with dagger? That makes no sense. I have mana for it. I can use a fan of flames, illusion, or firebolt. What the fuck? Attack with dagger apparently. Oh, that's why. Because we need to charm the merchant. We don't have the mana for it. Okay, yeah. If we use it now, I won't be able to charm the merchant. Attack with dagger. Health, morale +3. Hold on. I'm gonna attack with dagger. You pull out the dagger, charge down the steps on the way, blah blah blah. You have 2 more dark rays before you and naturally reaches the enemy. After a few long seconds of brutal close quarter combat, you and Nerissa stand victorious. Shouts of blah blah blah. You go from here, and then you charm the merchant. Then you tell her. This was a shitty ending. Why the fuck? Moving up, replaying any volume in the library got a higher score. You have received 44%. Yeah, right. Oh, it actually did get me the highest score possible. Amazing. I did not think this would get me the highest score. Why did it get me the highest score? I have no idea. Do not ask me how this works, because I'm clearly low on health, but I guess I'm better than last time. Apparently this is the best ending you can get. Like I had like what, 3 health and like I don't know, a little bit of mana. Yeah, how much mana? 1 mana and like how would I would say, why was it necessary to kill the Baron exactly? I don't get it. What did that achieve except for a cut? All right, so nice. I got deadly and absurdly handsome and good. Table rank was below, blah blah blah, new high score. Got it. Okay, so this is where I'm going to end it. Like and sub, leave a comment if you want to ask something regarding anything, and in the description is my Twitter. You can go there and look up my I put some stuff up there, photos and stuff. I did last time. I forgot to actually upload that photo. I'm going to upload it right now. So the desert sorceress. Also, there's my DTube account down there. You can go there. I play some hentai games on my DTube account. It's another website. All you have to do is when you click it, you will go to my channel. On the top right, there's a gear button. Click it. Click NSFW. Click show. It will show all the videos. Then you can watch them. Skip the first one. There's like the problem with YouTube is not the structure is not well made just yet. So like the first video is actually two of them. There's part 1, 2. So the one that's re-upload, watch that. The first one's kind of fucked and the quality is a bit low. So I can't delete it because DTube is not that well made. It just started out, so the site is still new. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.